Hello everyone, are we ready for day 10 of the Advent Calendar by Hand Drawn by Mel? You can download it from the link below if it's still active. It is right now in December of 2022. So let's get started. It's a simple, sweet little bluebird of happiness today. And since the background is going to be this light color, I'm going to do it first so I don't accidentally smear any of the blue or the red from the bird or the hat. This is just a pretty solid pressure all the way around, and we'll decide later if we're going to do any gradient in the corners. We may. Hard to believe in just a couple more days we'll be halfway done with this calendar, which means, see, there was already a little something on the page that is invisible to the eye, but is I need a little brush. So it's always best, you're coloring with a light color like this, to make sure your paper is clean. There's another little one, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, they all of a sudden bloom as you're coloring, even though you didn't see them before. So that's always fun. I have to go back and fill in. Let's see. Some more of these things colored in, because I find sometimes when I'm coloring a light color, it looks like I'm right up to the edge, but once I color on the other side of the black line, then I can really see I wasn't as close to the edge as I thought. So it's some kind of little trick of the eye until both sides of the line are covered, I think. At least that happens to me. Maybe I'm the only one, I don't know. I'm also learning as I edit these videos of mine. I just did it again, which makes me made me aware of it, that I have a little noise that I make sometimes as a transition in between one thought to another, and they don't sound good on camera, so I'm trying to be mindful of those and not do them quite so often. Okay, so now for the darkest, and that was a Prismacolor 140. Sorry about that. So now we're going to take the darkest of the blue colors from the hat up there for the bird. This is Violet Blue 933 in Prismacolor. And just going to do most of the outside. Pretty heavy on the outside, and feather it as you go in. And we will blend with the lighter colors as we go. But overall, I want the bird to be dark. And I want it to look round. So typically, color darker at the outside and lighter at the inside, and that makes your eye think it's got some depth to it. It also will serve to differentiate it between the wing and the belly in a few minutes, so it doesn't look all the same color. I'm going to do this a hair darker in here because I want the wing to be lighter. real light in here. We'll blend that in with the next color. Just a moment. Okay, the second color is an Arteza number 70 Blueberry. Very short, even strokes works well to get a even coverage for me. I want it to be lighter here than here because I want the wing to be able to go from dark to light also and still stand out. Besides, this is the part of the body. If this bird is round, then this part of the body is the closest to us, so I want that the lightest of this section. Try to get right up next to the line there. Why aren't you doing it? Got too dark in my attempt to get it up next to the line. Interesting. Sometimes I think the tip of the pencil plays with my brain. It's actually hitting the paper in a spot that doesn't look like it's hitting the paper, and makes it interesting. Pretty hard. Blend it into the shadows on the bottom. Get real light on the part that's kind of the top of the tail. And we'll do that with the lightest color, which is another Arteza pencil. Wow, periwinkle. It is impossible to see. 68. Okay, decently hard pressure here to blend it all together. Because we put that shadow on the bottoms of those three sections, it kind of has a little 3D look to it. And pretty hard here to blend those all together as well. Okay. Not fancy, but I like him. He's cute. Okay, so then another. I'm gonna start again with the Prismacolor 933. Just down here, because we want this side of the wing to be the darkest. Get pretty light at first, but now getting pretty heavy right up next to the line. I'm not going to worry too much about those little drawn lines in there. If they end up showing up, great, and if not, it's okay. Okay, second color. I want the wing to look a little rounded too, so we'll try to do this medium blue towards the edge and feather it in as we go. Real light here. About as light as you can get now in there. Let's blend, make that gradient a little smoother. Okay, and then the lightest color on the top part of the wing. Pretty heavy pressure again, just blend it all together. Okay, there's the main part of the body of the Bluebird of Happiness. I don't know why I wanted to color it like that, but I did. And now for the belly, though. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do for the belly, but I want it lighter than the body, so I've got to make a little bit of, this is the darkest blue, the Prismacolor 933, and I'm just doing it real light on the belly side just to differentiate it from the body here. But overall I want it to be lighter, so I want to be careful not to go too dark. Okay, then for the medium color, kind of going against all my rules of, you know, usually I put the darker color on the outside, but because in my brain, typically birds' bellies are white. If they're a different color, they're white, so I don't want to get dark. I don't know. We're just making it up as we go today. It'll be fine. Maybe because in my brain, like maybe the belly is closer to the light source. Maybe we'll go with that. So that's why it's brighter, because the light is shining it, and I'm paying more attention to talking than coloring. So I've got some stroke marks in there. I'm going to try to camouflage them a little bit with shorter ones. It's also the texture of this paper. So if you ever feel like you can't get even strokes, sometimes it's the paper. You just have to experiment. Okay, so now I'm going to do decently hard, pretty hard pressure here, because I didn't really want a white belly. I just wanted it lighter than the rest of the body. And I was trying to justify why I was doing the lighter color on the outside. Hence the conversation about white bellies on birds and light sources. I'm just making it all up. It's art. Do whatever you want. But I think I succeeded in making that a lighter color than the body, but still not blend in too much here. I think that works. It's not the smoothest, but like I said, it's art. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. This has to be fun. Okay, now for the little brown beak, let's pick one of the browns we have used in the past. This is Burnt Umber, Polychromos 280. Sure, we'll give him a little dark brown beak. I don't know if that's realistic, but it's not a realistic bird today. Okay, so now for the hat. Let's use the other two reds that we have used in this page. So this will be a Castle Arts Vermilion and Alizarin Crimson. So the Alizarin Crimson is the darker of those two colors. It's a hair pinker than this red, so it will make it look a little different. necessarily a true red. It's a little pinker, but I think it'll work. And then with the crimson over the top, that'll bring in a little more red hue to this pink shadowy part. I thought this would blend nicely with the blue of the bird. Just make that a little more subtle there. Okay, so now for the vermilion. Pretty hard pressure here. When you get used to different pencils, you'll get used to like how long of a stroke you can make without it getting, you know, real obvious pencil lines, because some pencils I find you have to do super short strokes and some I can do a little longer. And I'm not sure the difference other than, you know, maybe how hard the lead is, and even within pencil brands it's different sometimes depending on the pigment that the pencil is made out of. This one I'm using right now, I feel I can get away with a little bit longer strokes than even some of the reds from this one. And it feels a little softer maybe. I don't know. It could be full of baloney, but yeah. Okay, I didn't even want to think about what color we were going to make the frame. I probably should have done that. But okay, so now for the number, we're going to make it that same red. I have a plan for the frames in number 10. No, I don't. Pretty hard pressure here. It's nice having these lighter squares when you've got all, you know, so many dark ones. Kind of helps break it up a little bit more. Now, let's do a little bit of shadow here. This is the raw umber, Polychromos, number 180. Just for a little bit of shadow here. And we'll see where we're gonna, if we need shadow somewhere else. We might need some in here, I'm not sure. Kind of doing this to make a little long subtle gradient from dark to light without too much trouble. Just kind of flicking it. It needs a little something, but it's awfully dark, so I don't want to do too much. not awful. Okay, so a little bit in the corners, the outside corners. Okay, so now just a little bit of texture with the Uniball Signo pen. On this one I am going to cover up the black lines. I don't know why, because I feel like it, and I can. I didn't on the black boot, but it feels right here. Again, just rough circles to get texture and enough to cover up the black lines. I'm not going to cover up totally on the bottom because the blue is so dark. It blends in and it makes it just helps the white stand out against what looks like the blue. And do we want a little white eyeball? Do we want to leave the eyeball black? I'm afraid, so I'm going to leave it black for right now. And there's day 10. Thanks everyone. I will see you tomorrow.